Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining in this GenAI Bootcamp. And we are really happy to have you all here. And your participation really shows how much excited you are for this bootcamp. And the main purpose of this bootcamp is to promote learning and to build a very good networking among ourselves only. So thank you so much for joining in. And over to you, Unnati now. Uh, Unnati, I think you are on mute.
Really sorry. Yeah, so good evening, one and all present here. With great honor, I introduce our distinguished speaker for the day, Mr. Vivek, VP at Nexstem and a renowned AWS ML hero. Vivek holds a Guinness World Record and has extensive experience in BCI technology and cloud communities. His profound expertise and engaging teaching style will provide us with invaluable insights and practical skills throughout today's session. So, today we have an exciting agenda lined up. Starting with some insightful discussions, we will delve into the vast ecosystem of AWS, uncover the transformative potential of generative AI, and explore AWS services specifically designed for AI applications. Secondly, Vivek will guide us through setting up an AWS account, navigating the AWS Management Console, and initiating a practical project to create an S3 bucket and upload data. So, moving forward, after the main session concludes, we have some engaging activities planned. So, please be stay tuned and uh, to the activities. We have an interactive quiz for you all to test your understanding of AWS basics and generative AI concepts through an engaging quiz. Secondly, you can join our community chat to share your AWS setup experiences, discussion insights, and connect with fellow participants. So, I encourage you all to stay engaged and participate actively throughout the bootcamp. Your questions and contributions will enhance the learning experience of everyone. So, the best part is by staying with us until the end of the bootcamp, you will have the chance to win exciting rewards. So, be participative, complete the hands on projects, and engage in community discussions to maximize your experience. Thank you once again for being here. Let's dive into the world of AWS and generative AI together and make this an unforgettable learning journey a very large success. Now, I request Vivek sir to address and start. We are all ears, sir. Let the venture begin.
Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. And good evening, folks. Thanks for joining in on a Sunday evening. That's something very shows that you are very interested to learn something. And I'll make sure that this session is going to be interesting for you. Cool. So just allow me to share my screen, and we could get started. Mhm. Uh, Sorry, just allow me in that. Cool. We can get started. So, hope so. Everything is fine. You're able to hear me, see me, as well as see my slides, right? So, perfect. Cool. So I'll take the questions at the end, and I'd like to interact with you with more if you have more doubts. So today's my aim is to set the stage for you to get started for the next 4 weeks. So which includes if you are very new to AWS, I'll help you with creation of the AWS account. We'll just have a quick tour around what's there in AWS, and more importantly, today I'm going to help you understand that what's generative AI. So let's get started. So what I do, so I'm a VP of product at Nexstem. So Nexstem builds devices for brain-computer interfacing. To be simply told that we are building device that could read your mind. Yep. Yep. Don't worry, we don't do any surgeries or read it directly from the brain. We have external devices which helps you to understand how your brain works. So that's what I built at Nexstem. And I'm AWS Machine Learning Hero. So if you're not aware about what's a Hero program, it's a very distinguished program from AWS, especially for the community, where they handpick folks from different domains who are expert in that domain as well as involved with the community. So I'm one of the active machine learning heroes, and when I got this title, I was only 21, so I was the youngest back then as well. And also, we have been doing amazing stuff in Azure developer community as well as AWS User Group Madurai. So AWS User Group Madurai has been nominated as the best user group both in 2022 as well as in 2023. And I had the chance to receive the award of Invent and Simplify for the amazing initiatives that we bring up in User Group Madurai. So we are also very excited and happy to collaborate with Dehradun for this bootcamp. And to know more what we do at UG Madurai, you can just go ahead and search for AWS User Group Madurai and visit our website. And it has a lot of initiatives that you can be part of. And I'm multi-cloud certified both in Azure, AWS, as well as in Alibaba Cloud and etc. And also, I'm a Guinness World Record holder. And besides all this stuff, my uh, my aim to actually my passion was actually to start with machine learning, and that's how I dabbled into cloud. And machine learning has been my favorite domain that I will always like going back, and I have published a lot of research papers in that, which the reason one includes that I've been in one I presented in IMB, and also I have two patents. I'm also a big fan of hackathons. So I've done a lot of hackathons way back in way back in my college days, and nowadays I'm presenting as well as I'm part of the jury members. Yep. Besides all my community and my professional work, yep, I love going to movies. I play guitar occasionally, and I'm always active in Instagram. So that's what I do. So if you'd like to connect with me, just scan this QR code. It will take to my credentials as well as the handles that I have. And I will right now stop the presentation. I would like to have a quick interactive sessions with you guys to know about what are you actually expecting from this session. So what I want you guys to do is right now to drop what questions that you really have with AWS or generative AI, or what made you to actually sign up for this bootcamp. Comment in the YouTube section, and we will start with those questions from now. Can you just remove my presentation from the live? Yes, cool. If you have any questions, like then I understand that there have a lot of questions that why we have generative AI, what is the start of it, and what really brings Gen AI as a huge hype. So, if you have any question about this, do drop it in the comment section. I would like to take. So, yeah, we have a couple of questions. You wanted to understand how Gen AI and how you want to implement the project in AWS. That's good. Anish wants to learn about what is Gen AI and how we can actually build Gen AI apps easily. So we have an amazing tool for that. And stay tuned. We are going to create Gen AI apps live today with no code, and we're going to publish that as well. So keep along with me today, and we'll do amazing stuff. So, and also we have a lot of other questions coming in. You also want to know about a roadmap of becoming an AI engineer. Yep, I'll do take it at the end. Please remind me. We have more about Gen AI. What's the basics? How to leverage that in Node.js applications. I think we will take that as we go throughout this bootcamp. Nice questions coming in. Planning to do beta versions. Amazing. Yeah, I'll touch base on the certifications, the recent certifications launched by AWS. And thanks for joining in today's session. Yep. You wanted to know the knowledge about Gen AI. Yep. This is the comment I was actually looking for. So we have been talking about Gen AI a lot. But how many of we really know what Gen AI does? So okay. So we will do that today as well. good number of questions around that. You are interested to know what is it about and how you can actually implement. Fair number of questions, amazing questions that are coming in, and yeah, these sessions. Okay, how to start with GenAI. So we got amazing questions, and we will see how I can help you guys to do that. So back to my screen sharing. Just allow me in that. Okay, just give me a second on that. Cool. Let me know when you can see my screen. Yep, I guess, yeah. So you can connect with me, and I have a lot to even share with you. If you like to get in touch with me on a session or something, feel free to use this QR code. Yeah. So I think if I could consolidate a lot of things which are coming in, one thing which I understood is that a lot of people have been hearing this word Gen AI, and they want to know what does it really do. So that's one thing. And we have what are foundation models. Like what does it do? We have been hearing about large language models, foundation models. We have been hearing about GPTs, a lot of other models, and why Gen AI is the hype at the moment. So we will see all that today's session, and I think I can guarantee you guys by today and now, when we complete this session, you will be having a generative AI app in your hand, and you will be using Gen AI to enhance your developer productivity. So how many of you here are developers? Yep, I think most of them, I think over 90%. So I would also show you how you could, as a developer, could leverage Gen AI to make it much more you as a better developer. So yeah, so that's the agenda, and let's get started. So first of all, let us take a quick tour about how an AWS console looks like. So if you haven't signed up, just go ahead and sign up. This is a brand new account for a few reasons. Uh, the first thing which you have to do, go to billing and cost management. This is the first thing which I'll always try to do. Go to billing and cost management and set up your budget alerts. That will help you to make sure that you don't cross your limits of, and you might incur a couple of costs as well. So start setting up budget the right moment you step into AWS account. Okay, and then you can go ahead and see. There are a lot of things that has. So we have SageMaker, which is a exclusive service, managed service for machine learning, and we have EC2 where you can spin up virtual machines and lot. And you also have Deep Razor, which I like to bring that at the end of the session as well, and lots of more. So today, instead of us going and creating an S3 bucket, I think I'd like to see how you guys can go ahead and explore a documentation. So you know how to create an AWS account. So go ahead, just go to console.aws, and then you will be able to fill up the couple of questions regarding account creation, and you will have an account like this. Goes through S3, and then follow a simple step for you to create an S3 bucket and then upload a document and so on. So this is the most that you need to get started with AWS. Nothing more than that. A free AWS account where you can work under a free trial. So now let's jump back to the presentation part. Sorry, where I missed it. Cool. So now let's again, now we know how an AWS console looks like. So now let's start into GenAI. So a lot of questions have been there with regards to this. And the thing about what is GenAI? So right now, Gen AI has been revolutionizing every domain, but let's take a step back and see what generative AI really means. Okay, so it is a type of machine learning. Okay, and it is powered by large models, which includes LLMs. So these models have been trained in vast amount of data. So do you know what is a vast amount of data that you can find in the world at the moment? At least accessible data, which I mean. Yep, it's the internet corpus. So most of the LLMs have been trained in huge amount of data, which includes internet corpus by itself. And let's see what is the difference between machine learning, deep learning, and Gen AI. So that will give you a contrast information about what it does. So when it comes to machine learning, okay, let's assume that you have a data. The data might be like it's like let's take the conventional and the most familiar project that everyone knows here. So it's called an iris project, and iris data set, which includes like the sepal and the petals, height and width. Okay, so when this information is gathered over three different types of iris flowers, and there are 50 of each dimensions which are being captured for each iris plant, and now we have 150. So if you allow a mathematical model to learn the correlation between those four factors or four features, which we call, and able to predict that this belongs to the class of uh, the iris plant, then you have done machine learning. So machine learning is that where you have the inputs, very simple inputs like numerical, string, and sum, which is usually in the tabular model, and you'll be able to identify or point to a simple outputs like uh, classifying into different classes, or predicting the price, or predicting the numerical value, or just cluster the similar entities together. So when it comes to machine learning, it's broadly classified into three types of problems that we deal with, which includes supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So when it comes to supervised, do you know what that means? If you know, you can help the other folks in the comment section to know that as well. Yes. So supervised means that you have a target class or a variable, and you try to map the correlation of the features to that target variable. So that's supervised. And unsupervised refer to, so in supervised, it's regression and classification. You can go ahead and explore what that means as well. And further on, you will be having uh, the unsupervised, which is about you don't really have a target class or a variable, but rather you try to understand the relationships or the patterns that exist within the dataset. So, for example, I could start clustering people today in this cohort as beginners, intermediates, and advanced. So there is no target that I have, but I could use some features of yours. Like, for example, how many AWS certifications have you taken? So what is your expertise in AWS? If I know that, I'll be able to start grouping you into some similar cohorts. So that's unsupervised. And reinforcement learning is a reward-based learning, as we know. So that's machine learning. And what's deep learning? So deep learnings have very complex inputs. Of course, it works on data sets and stuff, but it is also very, very much efficient to learn about images, works on audios and stuff. So in deep learning, you try to establish relationships in such a way that each layers have different type of neurons, and each neurons has weights. So every time input is processed, these weights get updated by some function called uh, and some functions. And once you reach to the end, it typically arrives at the last layer, which is usually if it is a one class or two class or multi-class, and it tries to classify or create a regression or so and so. So deep learnings are very much efficient for you to understand complex inputs. So which also includes like which we typically call neural networks. Okay. So now comes generative AI. So now, what is the real deal between what is a Gen AI is that based on the learnings that it has, it can start generating a new concept or text or anything or entity based on whatever it has already learned. So the inputs might be complex. For example, the inputs might be as complex as write an essay for me on World War II, and that would be able to Gen AI will be able to understand those inputs. It is complex. You're not explicitly telling your machine or your model to do something, right? So that's complex. Or it can identify or correlate on something on the images as well. So when you have these complex inputs based on the existing knowledge, it generates the new existing stuff for you to learn and go ahead. So now comes to, and it gives you the complex outputs like the whole text generation or image generation and so on. So now, as you know, everyone has been using GenAI. Now I want you guys to comment down what are the popular GenAI tools you have been already doing. Let me know in the comment section. So I will again, can you just remove me the slides from this one? Okay, so what all, okay, we have GANs. A lot of people have been using chat GPTs. Yep, that's one of the popular tools. We have Copilot, good. And someone mentioned about Bedrock. Okay, that's right. And we have Gemini, Copilot, and a lot of other stuff as well. Midjourney, I was expecting that because I wanted to see something which is on image generation. Okay, so we have cloud, AWS. Okay, AWS is a platform provider, not typically a GenAI tool. Nice. We have mentions about a couple of foundation models as well, like cloud and stuff like that. So that's interesting. DALI, yep, which I was actually expecting as well. Cool. We have Blackbox, Perplexity. Okay, very good mentions. I think now we can again go back to, yep, I think we can again go back to this stuff. Just give me another minute. Shit. Okay, I'll again share my screen. Cool. I think we are good to go. Perfect. I'm right now I have access to all your guys. Okay. Just give me another minute. I'm having few issues on this one. Okay. Perfect. Cool. So yeah. So now I can now see you guys chat as well. So I fixed my dual monitor issue. So now it's pretty good. Uh, so typically we now know what all have been using. You have been. I don't know how you got access to OpenAI Sora. Someone mentioned it. Uh, I don't think so. There is a public access to that. But anyways, Party Rock. Okay, good, good. Someone brought up Party Rock to this GenAI party. So we know now everyone knows like what's machine learning, what does deep learning means, and what Gen AI means, and we have been using some Gen AI tools as well, correct? So now let's try to understand what's generative AI in a technical perspective. An AI that can generate content which is close to a human created content for human worlds, and you also have a Gen AI that means it's powered by foundational models pre-trained on a large set of data. So we know the Llama, ChatGPT, Cloud, whatever it is. So it's being trained on huge lot of data. And it's applicable to a lot of use cases. Yep, we know how we have been using Gen AI, right? We have been using that to complete your assignments and whatnot. So it's been used for text generation, question answering, digital art creations. You know how that works, and even code generations. Cool. And and the best part about this is how you can actually customize for specific domains. And that would be it. And before going into this, so how many of you think that the Gen AI or the generative part of the AI is being just introduced in 2024? Uh, do you have any fair idea when was actually generative AI uh, uh, came into picture? Okay. It's not 2024, it's not 2023, it's not 2020. It's much more better than that. So let's start how this AI really led to this. So someone mentioned 2014, 2016. We will see whether that really makes sense. So let's first start with how the AI and stuff started. So AI was termed in 1956, and a very early NLP program, which is natural language processing. No. It never came after ChatGPT. No. It was way beyond before that. So ChatGPT is just a tool that works on LLMs, which is basically a Gen AI. Cool. Okay. So it's much more beyond that. So we have a lot of NLP systems that came before that, and we have rule-based systems as well. And in 1997, IBM's Deep Blue actually defeated the chess champion Garry Kasparov, which was a huge thing back then. And then a lot of things happened in 2021. So NLP was gaining a lot of traction, and I just missed a lot of other stuff in between. Don't mind that. And IBM's Watson actually won Jeopardy. Jeopardy is a show, if you might be aware of. And 2013 is one of very interesting stuff happened where Google introduced word to vec. So that is where the word embeddings really takes place. So that word embeddings means you try to, when you give a sentence, okay, and the sentence has been converted into a vector. So that's called word embeddings. And in 2014, we have sequence to sequence. And that is a better way of creating word embeddings and the sequence to sequence models. And it hugely helped in a lot of NLP tasks. And we have 2014, we have GANs. So GANs means generative adversarial networks. So I think that was one of the initial sparks that led to this whole things that we have right now. So basically how that works is we have a generator, we have a discriminator. So based on the inputs, the generator generates something and the discriminator accepts or denies it. So this is where we have started creating realistic images and stuff. So we have gone a long way through from that. So then we had an attention mechanism, which was a huge thing which came into NLP. And if you want, you can go ahead and read a research paper called "Attention is What You All Need," and that's one of the remarkable papers in NLP. Then we have transformers when we have BERT, and the GPT-3 model was released in 2020. It was released in 2020, and which was able to create much more better human-like text, and it was able to understand more context. And then we have in 2021, we have NVIDIA's and Microsoft released Megatron Turing NLG. And then we have Google introduced Lambda, which is about the language model for dialogue applications, which is more like this one. And 2023, when we had the GPT-4, I'm sure that if you had gone to using ChatGPT, you have to pay a premium subscription to get an access to it. And then Anthropic released Cloud AI model, which is right now. And they released a new 3.5 model just a couple of days back. And it's available in Amazon Bedrock if you want to go ahead and use that. So this is how we actually arrived at GenAI, and it's not very simple stuff that came very recently. So now we were addressing few things called foundation model, and what is a foundation model really means. So a conventional, when you do a machine learning, it's about you take the data, you do some pre-processing, and what you do is you try to select a model and train that data on the model. And then you do hyperparameter tuning and you test it in such a way that whether the model is performing well and accuracy is good or not. And then you create a machine learning model. So based on the data. And then you deploy this model for you to access and do that. So that's how a conventional machine learning workflow exists. But how does an ML flow with a foundation model exist is that? So here the data is huge, very huge. Okay, so it has been done in a lot of pre-processing, and a foundation model has been trained. This foundation model can be used in very different number of tasks that you want to do. So it's not just one task that you can leverage for it. It has been like, for example, we know that a foundation model like LLMs and GPT that you have access to can do text summarization, it can generate code for you and a lot of stuff. But let's imagine that you wanted to answer questions for your enterprise. For example, It wants to read your private enterprise data and serve as an interface for you to communicate and learn more than that. So you can use your foundation model to fine tune with more data or some specific insights, and you can deploy that for your specific task as well. So that's how the foundation models work in machine learning context. And why the models are getting bigger. So the parameters is about how much parameters have been trained on. For example, if you take YOLO, which was released in 2015, 2016, which is widely used for a lot of images and everything. So that had nearly 210 million parameters. And GPT-2 had 1.5 billion, GPT-3 had 175 billion, and Switch C has 1.6 trillion. So there has been nearly more than 10x growth in terms of parameters. And the reason behind it is that we have very, very good infrastructure for training data nowadays. And also, you have large access to and data as well. So what really happens? So for example, you're choosing this particular model, and you wanted to deploy that for your own use case. What is the real challenge that it comes? So for example, let's take that AWS is not into the picture, and you are being provided with a large model, and you wanted to deploy on your on-prem or somewhere. So what really happens? So the first of all, the size itself is a huge problem, which is the large model is a very big thing, and you have to serve the model efficiently, and the infrastructure setup that you have to do in terms of servers, uh, routing the traffic, input inference traffic, and everything. It's a huge stuff, and for you to host that model and also make sure that you'll be able to receive those requests and handle it, it's a huge cost which is associated with it. And of course, it also directly affects your performance, latency, throughput, and availability. So if a large model, if it is given to you as a task to host it, it has a lot of problems. And that's where these service providers jump into picture, which such as AWS. So you might be aware of a couple of other managed services which AWS provides. For example, you have EC2, where you don't have to really provision or set up a virtual missions for yourself. And secondly, you have buckets, S3 buckets, where you could store large amounts of data and access it whenever you want. And you have Beanstalk for you to manage applications that you want to host it, and so on. And we have a couple of questions coming around. So how GenAI is used on AWS cloud services? Yep. We will bring that up in the end of the session as well, once we come to the end. And will GenAI lead to more global warming? That's a very interesting question, but I would like to take that maybe in some other session or off topic. So, and I think someone asked a very relevant question over here, that is it really relevant for right now to learn and build machine learning models from scratch, or should we go for already built-in infra solutions provided by AWS, etc., where we can train the foundation model on the cloud? Okay, that's a very good question here. So it depends totally. This answer has no definite yes or no for this. Is that it totally depends on the use case, and how do you want to deal with that use case when it comes to that. So depending on the type of problem, you have to choose whether you wanted to go for a foundation model or other type of models, such as just if you're just going to deal with images, don't bother about going to foundation models. You wanted to just deploy a simple regression model, again, don't bother that going that over there. So with it all being said, now you chose what sort of models that you're going to deal with. And for example, you also chose that you wanted to go with foundation models depending on your use case. Now you can go to AWS and use the existing foundation models that you can have if it fits your use case, or if you feel that you wanted to fine tune it, and AWS have provisions for you to fine tune that. So that's how we have AWS Bedrock. So in this particular bootcamp is where we are going to extensively see that operation. So I would like you to stay with this bootcamp and get to know more about that stuff in the future. Cool. Now, now comes to one of the. So whenever we talk about something, we have the pros and cons for that, right? So the pros is, yep, it can adopt to any domains. It has huge accessibility, and it has a huge innovative system. But what are the risks of it? So since most of you have been dealing with a couple of text generated models, so not always you get a right answer from that model, correct? Is that true or not? So sometimes it generates random stuff which does not really make any sense, right? So there is a huge issue about hallucination, which is a big problem when it comes to generative AI. And controlling those hallucination is the biggest task that you deal with when you do when you want to do uh, fine tune it for your own domain as well. So that is something you have to do. So how to get started building with Gen AI on AWS? Yep, the most asked question in the comment section, which I can see. So Amazon Bedrock has all the foundation models. That's the easiest way for you to build, fine tune, and scale Gen AI apps with foundation models. And you can also build, train, and deploy foundation models on scale with Amazon SageMaker. And for you to deploy such heavy stuff, so NVIDIA GPU-powered Amazon EC2 instances are available, and also AWS Trainium, which is used for training such huge models, is also available at 50% lower training cost. So if you're enterprise or someone who's wanting to do that, please go ahead and try this EC2 machine, AWS Trainium, which helps you to do that. And AWS Inferentia is where you try to deploy those fine-tuned foundation models and stuff, where you can get those inferences and provide back the responses. And it has 40% lower than all other, like the comparable EC2 instances. So instead of you going and spinning up an EC2 instance and doing the stuff, I would rather suggest you to go to Inferentia for inference purposes and Trainium for training purposes. So why you have to use AWS for Gen AI? So we have seen the pros and the cons, and the cons really weigh a little bit high when you say that, right? So for that, you have to you need someone who can manage the infrastructure for you, and that's AWS, for you to easily scale up, scale down, and stuff like that. So AWS provides you flexibility, the cost-effective infrastructure, and an easiest way for you to access as well as build infrastructure, and even GenAI solutions as well. So now let's talk about the couple of services which exist here, which includes Amazon Bedrock. So Amazon Bedrock is used for you to development of GenAI apps using the foundation models which is available using an API. So which means you can build agents which will do specific tasks and which will have an access to foundation model for you to access it. And it's typically an AI API calls. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so you can choose to do that, and also you can. Okay, sorry for that. And choose foundation models from AI 21 Labs, Anthropic, Stability AI, and even Amazon has a couple of foundation models such as Titan, etc. And you can privately customize those foundation models. For example, if you have any specific use case, you can try and put that out over as well. And also. And also you can use enhance your data protection because it follows a lot of security related stuff, which will be very helpful for you to maintain the security aspects. And AWS has tools and capabilities where you can easily scale, deploy it. That should be very easy for you as well. And what all foundation models it has? So, this is a little bit outdated information, which I have at the moment, but Anthropic even released 3.5 in Amazon just a couple of days back. You have Jurassic 2, 3, and Command plus Embed from Cohere. And Stability AI has a lot of stable diffusion and other stuff as well. And Titan. So do we need to learn LLMs in order to build apps in GenAI? Okay, I'd like to take this question at the moment so that it answers everyone. do we really need to learn LLMs? So it's about how much technical you want to really go. So uh, most of the time, you will be fine-tuning a foundation model, which is already a built LLMs. So, which means you don't ideally need to know the inside working of LLMs, but it's surely a good thing to know, right? So then, if you know how to fine-tune your LLM models or your foundation models, it'll be easy for you to work on it. And you really don't want to, if you are a person who really don't want to do that fine-tuning stuff, there are already existing models. You can directly use it on top of that. And you're a person who don't want to use models, but you just want to use GenAI apps. And there are specific ways to do it, which we'll discover in this presentation as well. I hope that answered that question for you. So current models with Bedrock, you have Claude, which is for text generation. We have Image, which is stable diffusion, text to image. I think most of the folks would have also interacted with stable diffusion models. And Titan, which is for Amazon, has Titan embeddings, which is output vector of around 4096. And also it has a Titan text latch, which is about the code generation, instruction following, and so on as well. So prompt engineering. Someone in the chat also today asked, what's the best way to learn prompt engineering? Okay. Prompt engineering is a way for you to give an instruction to your foundation model in such a way that you expect as well as you extract the right answers from it. Okay. So Rupa also asked us like how to learn to write good prompts. So that comes, so there are a lot of prompt engineering stuff courses that you can take, but it's pretty much, it's simple. It's about how do you, the model really understands the text, right? So you wanted to play with the text in such a way you get the right answer and the formatted answer that you want to get. So the user asks, gives some data and gives a task in terms of that, give me this, do this for me, or like that. And the input is sent to the foundation models and the output is again received back, right? So you can just go ahead and see around how to write a good prompt. That should be enough for you as well. And you can access Bedrock via AWS console. So you can go ahead and see the service as well, which I would like to show you guys a little later. And you can access via your API operation. So if you are using Python, you can use Boto3 and you can like list foundation models. You can invoke the model with the API calls and so and so as well. So how many of you here are aware of SageMaker Jumpstart? That is a service which exists as well. Have you heard about it? Okay, so SageMaker is a managed service for machine learning workflows, and Jumpstart is like a project or something where it has all the necessary for you to get started immediately. For example, the Jumpstart, I can show you the Jumpstart today as well. So Jumpstart is where you will have a specific set of code and a lot of things for you to immediately get started. So you don't have to do much of a fine tuning over there or much of a work on coding over there. So the foundation models are also available in Jumpstart, which means go to Amazon SageMaker, you will have access to the foundation model and the project where you can actually need to fine tune those models already written over there. So you have to just do the necessary tweaking and you can do that. Okay, so what are the foundation models are available? There are a lot. So Meta has AI21 and Hugging Face, a lot of has as well, like Falcon 7B, which means like it has 7 billion parameters. Databricks, Alexa, as well as Amazon has Titan and other stuff. So you can use and leverage this from the Jumpstart, and you can easily manage this as well. So Prakash Ramesh has been asking, yep. So we spoke about what is deep learning and GenAI and the how it works and everything during the first half of this session. So you can just rewind back and or check it later around that as well. So how does this foundation model works with the Amazon Jumpstart? So you access and try out the public and proprietary foundation models. You can customize it and you can integrate them with the GenAI app. So that is the whole point of it. How do? You first browse the foundation models, you experiment which foundation model that you wanted to choose with, and then you can customize with your own data set. That means that's where you do this fine tuning and a lot of stuff, and then go ahead and deploy. And make sure that this all runs with a cost. So do not just go ahead and try it out directly. So now comes an interesting part. So we spoke about a little bit around prompt engineering. We spoke about pre-training, and we spoke about fine tuning. What are the three difference? What is the difference between all three, and what is how does it really affect your enterprise or use case as well? Okay, so the complexity and the cost as well as accuracy. Prompt engineering is where you have a foundation model, or you are an LM, you are a GPT, you have some access to a foundation model. You are really smart enough to ask the right questions to get the right answer. But of course, we have been dealing with a lot of other stuff as well, right? So we used to give a lot of prompts to get the right answer. So prompt engineering is very easy to get started, but you don't really get that much of an accurate answer, even though the foundation model is capable of answering that. And you don't really do that, right? So you don't host it or do something over here. Okay. Yep. As said, yep. Prompt engineering is where you give an input to a foundation model. Yep. But the complexity here is there's no much complexity. You're just giving an input in terms of a text or an image or a data set, and you get a response out of it. But fairly said, there is like the accuracy will be a little bit low because you don't get the right answer with that. And now comes the fine tuning. That is, okay, you want the foundation model to answer specific questions related to what you have. Okay. For example, you are as we saw in the previous slide, that you customize your foundation model with a specific data set that you have from your enterprise or for yourself. That's when you give the data set and it fine tunes it. So which means there is a little bit of training that goes with the foundation model on top of it, and which means that it involves complexity as well as the cost. And the accuracy will be slightly better because it's now able to answer the questions or the inputs that you have been asking with relevant to your data and the existing data as well. Now comes the third part, is pre-training. Let's imagine that there is no pre-trained model, like there is no Anthropic, there is no cloud model, there is no Amazon right now. You are given a bare, untrained machine learning model, and you also train that machine learning model along with your data. Okay, which means you do a pre-training around that, which means you manage the whole thing of training that foundation model, which is a huge cost, huge complexity, but it has the best accuracy because it can now do that. Is it possible to train foundation models providing websites or books? You can give files and books as an input. Websites are not at the moment. But you can access AWS Docs via an interesting interface that we will see as we come across right now as well. So what is an instruction fine-tuning? So it's like you give an prompting and you try to see how that performance looks like as well. And now let's talk about something very interesting. How many of you here knows about what is a code whisperer? You can comment down in the comment section. How many of you here know about Code Whisperer? So Code Whisperer is a tool or a service from AWS which helps you to generate code along with you. So if you give a prompt about like, for example, give me a code to do something and it will do that. Yeah, it falls in the same category of code generation, which includes Copilot and other stuff as well. So we will see a good example today around that. So it generates code suggestions in real time. And also it scans for hard to find vulnerabilities that, for example, if you have accidentally mentioned or hard coded your access key or some token or secret key, it will be able to figure that out as well. So it helps you to generate code and complete the code much faster than you when going and searching for it, and looks like that. So now let's go around doing something very which is about creating a Gen AI app for yourself. So before all that, what if I tell you? So today, okay, there is few. Okay, I think a lot of people answered the same thing, that you are already aware of what's a code whisperer. Before going into generating Gen AI apps at the moment, let's take one question about the LLMs and RAGs. So RAGs, yep. So you have been asked about what is a RAG. So RAGs are like in an LLM. RAGs is where it tries to go and access for information as an LLM. So, for example, the whole you have when it comes to an LLM, it has a vector databases where it tries to go and searches for the answer that you asked for as an output, or like when you give an input. And RAG is where you it is about the retrieval augmented generation, where from that thing it tries to bring out the answers from that. Okay, so what is the difference between RAG and fine tuning? RAG is a where it is like fine tuning is where on the top of the foundation model you do something, and RAG is where you customize your data set and you ask your LLM model to specifically go and access from that instead of this one. Yes, as Sivakala told, that's the right answer. So now let's jump back to the session over here. It's about what if I tell you that you can now generate GenAI apps, and over 150, around 150, 170 folks are right now in the session. Let's all go and create a GenAI app along with me, and it would hardly take few minutes. Shall we do that today? Okay. So what if I tell you we can create a GenAI app? You don't need to do any coding. It's free of cost, and we can publish your apps. Today, let's see how many of you comes up with very interesting GenAI apps at the moment. Do you know where are we heading to if this is the use case? Anything that you can say in the comment section? Yes, it's about the Party Rock. So Party Rock is where anyone can build AI apps from just a prompt. So let's go ahead and do that. What you have to do is go ahead and check about partyrock.aws, which I like to also paste it in the comments if you like to see that. Yes, it's partyrock.aws, and you can go ahead and build your own application. So everyone go ahead and go to this website. We'll be parallelly doing, I'll be giving some instructions, and let's see how many of you folks create an apps, and let's see that. So we can build an apps, okay? Now I wanted to describe about what sort of app should I build. Okay, I want you to create a recipe when I give an input of what all items available in my refrigerator, available in my kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to build that. Like if I input that I have this and this, it will suggest me to do some, it will generate like what recipes that you can build out of that. Okay, let's see how that works. So first of all, you give the ingredients and you will get the recipe. So let's take some simple example. Let's see how that works. What are ingredients that I right now I have in my, so I have paneer, I have green peas. Okay, obviously you know where that's going into. And can we stream real-time data and keep on continuously? At this moment, as far as I know, it's not possible. Yeah. So green peas, I have wheat flour, and yeah, let's see what it generates if it. What is the recipe that it's? Let's see what recipe that is really generates. So the name that it automatically generated is called KitchenMate. Okay, here is a delicious recipe using paneer, green peas, and wheat flour. It's about paneer and green peas paratha. Okay, it gave me what all ingredients should I take and how should I do that. Um, it's like it's asking me how should I actually make that parathas with that. Serve with a hot paneer and green peas paratha with yogurts, pickle or accompaniment. That okay. No, Prakash, that does not mean that we can give that inputs like paneer butter masala. It's about how we have created a GenAI app with just one command that if I this is the case. Now I want you guys to go ahead and now create some applications. It's about go to partyrock.aws, sign in, and then go ahead and see what all innovative use cases that you can come across. So I do have a couple of applications which I generated. One is the AI ML solution advisor. So let's assume that I'm a very newbie to AWS. I want to create, yep, Garima came up with an amazing idea of therapist. That's cool. Now, what I will do is before I show all this stuff, I want you guys also go and submit it to uh, to this place. So we could also track your party rock this one. So we go to bit.ly um, slash AWS UG So this is a official website of User Group Madurai, where we have been uh, accepting submissions of your learnings of AWS. So today, let's see how many of you people submit your party rock competition over there. So just head over to the website and go to Creators Club, and then you can submit. So now let's head back to our thing over there. Okay, this is how you can just go to our website and then you can make a submissions. We track about what all submissions that you make and we give leaderboard updates to that. So when you make a submissions, just make sure that you give an input that it's a Party Rock GenAI app and then go ahead and submit it. Cool. So let's go back to the Party Rock. So let's assume this is one of the applications which I built long back. It's about this app suggests AI, AWS services and tools to build your machine learning use case. Let's assume that I wanted to build one use case about help me. Okay, I want to build an use case to find out if a person is wearing a mask or not. Okay, this is something that we used to do it during the COVID times, but let's see if it could help us generate a use case with the steps of implementation as well. So generating, it will give you the solution as well as the steps to implement. Data involved, you need an image data. I think what is helping us to do is from the direct machine learning. It's like you need a data set of masked and unmasked people. You need to label that and you need to do it. And it also says that you can do it from Amazon recognition as well, which is really good. And it steps to implement. It shows where you can need to store the data, where you need to train your model, and how you can inference that as well. Yes, it does. It does not provide you an API for created app, but it's like gives you a playground and you can go ahead and do that as well. So now if I ask this particular thing that I want to build using Amazon recognition only, what it does. Can you kindly show the usage of text to SQL feature at PartyRock? Okay, Riddhi, so this is where you can go ahead and build that for yourself. Go to partyrock.aws, give a prompt about text to SQL feature, and create an app and submit to our user group Madurai. We'll be happy to review that as well. So you have already come up with an use case. That's pretty good. So when I asked that I want a recognition based this one, it already gave me this thing as well. That's pretty cool. So PartyRock is a place where you can generate GenAI apps with just prompts, and it's pretty cool. Now think about the use cases that you can deploy for your colleges as well as for your enterprises. But this is still a playground. Okay, so yeah. Make sure that once you create an application, feel free to submit to the Creators Club, where we'll be happy to check what all Party Rock applications that you have been created. Uh, at the moment, I don't think so that's possible. Can we import files or photo? Let's figure out. Okay. Um, I want you to. Okay, you can guys can try that out as well. So you can have a couple of apps that have been also featured, which you can go and see. Okay, so that's Party Rock for you. And coming back to the presentation. So if you have created a Party Rock application, go ahead and submit to the Creators Club. Creators Club is a place where we invite anyone's AWS learning and we track your contributions and your learnings as well. And we give the best top creators gets prize every single month. So it can be your memes, it can be memes, it can be blogs, it can be videos, it can be applications like we see today, it can be anything. So next is why community is very simply awesome. So what one of the persons from AWS community um, is have brought that in such a way that he calls that as a party smith, and he brought party rock apps to your place, which means the people you have been asking the question. So does PartyDog provide you APIs for created apps? Nope, it does not. Uh, can you integrate that with your deployed website? No, but this person have brought down in such a way that you can bring those apps to your applications. How does it do? So it converts your Party Rock apps into a fully deployable Sweat Kids application. So just go ahead and check this Party Smith, and it will have the necessary steps to do that for you. So next comes to another part. So let's go back to the code whisperer. So if you have been assigned a task in your work or something, okay. So okay, that's a spoiler slide. Okay. So let's assume that I have been asked a thing that upload all the CSV data in the. Okay, I'm like, you want me to read, iteratively read all the CSV data in the temp folder and upload all the CSV data to the S3 bucket. Okay, if this is a task which I get, what I do, I go ahead and go and choose my favorite IDE, which is like my VS Code. And then Aman has been, okay, Partysmith, just search it in Google, you'll be able to get that. It's asking for something like smart device list. It's about how, Aman Jain, it's about how you give the prompt to create those GenAI apps. Okay. So typically, let's assume that I don't have any copilot or any code generation assistance for me. Um, if I receive the task, what I do, I go and search like how do I upload a CSV file in my bucket and read the file in S3 as well. Then I get the relevant piece of code and I go and copy paste it and complete my work. But rather, what if I tell you that how to upload CSV data and this particular code pops up in my screen? That seems pretty cool, right? So now let's see about how this is achieved from Amazon Q, which also supports code generation. So let's go to my favorite IDE. Let's all delete this so that, okay. Uh-huh. Okay. It does have Amazon Q. Okay. So let's see what we get started with. So I'm going to create a file, going to call it demo.py over here. So let's see if my Amazon queue is already connected, or let me check it. View extensions. Let's see. Okay, let's figure out whether I have my queue already connected or not. So let's say that I wanted to read all the uh, file content from S3 bucket. So okay, so now let's ask Amazon Q. Amazon Q answers everything for you. So let's assume that I'm going to ask a plan that create a plan to help me read all the file content from S3 bucket. So Amazon Q also helps you in such a way that it analyzes the directories and files. It also recommends the code inserting as well. So you don't really need to make changes or copy paste. It does it for you immediately. So it's generating the answer that if you want to do this, what should be the thing? So it will obviously take time. So set up your AWS configuration, necessary inputs if you're doing in Python. So it gives me all the necessary stuff. I told it, would you like to generate a suggestion for this? You will review a diff and insert that in your project. Yep, obviously I'd love to do that. So it is generating the code and it will insert in my files automatically. Let's see how that works. So meanwhile, if you guys are still trying out Party Rock, this is the URL and you can go ahead and submit over here as well. Once you are done completing, creating an app, you can go ahead and submit over here. Prakash, there is no cost which is available, which is associated with Party Rock applications. You can use it however you want. What to write in the meetup URL link. So, guys, so if you are already, go ahead and sign up to the meetup.com and then follow both Amazon. I'll show you guys how that works as well. So, go and search for user group Madurai as well as user group Dehradun. Go and join this user group. And then when you go here and see your view profile, you will get an URL which you would like to copy paste and do that. Okay. So go ahead and both follow Dehradun as well as AWS User Group Madurai, and we'll be posting a lot of events over here as well. So that's what you ought to do in the meetup profile link. Now let's go back and check if my code generation, it's still doing it. Weird. Okay. So it suggested two things. It's that demo as well as test. Yeah, inserted. Well and good. Yep. So yes, I want to accept that. Uh, code have been updated. Yes, this is what I really want. So So now the demo pie have created everything. It has set up my AWS credentials. It has created my S3 client. It has list all the buckets. It has already read the file contents and it also reads the bucket content, everything. And also it helped me to create tests as well. So if I run some tests about this one, you can do that. So great. So this is how I can create my entire code within few minutes along with the test, which I really don't want to do from searching Stack Overflow. Really great, right? Now let's go back. So you can do that, and the code will also be generated when you do that as well. So that's one way to do it. So Amazon is a ML powered coding companion. It generates a code, which you all know that. So I would typically say this. So what is Amazon Code Whisperer for me? So it's like as a developer, which helps me to solve something or do something. It's about helping me to enhance my code and serve it much more better as a developer. And Code Whisperer does it. So if you take it in the Batman context, uh, Amazon Q requires a sign in. Yes, you can sign in using your AWS Builder account. It is not your AWS account by itself. It is a Builder account which will charge nothing for you. So you can go ahead and do that. So Amazon Code Whisperers helps the dev to be a better coder. That's how it enhances it. So it's nothing but the Alfred helping Bruce Wayne to become a better Batman, if you wanted to put it in very simple terms. Okay, so we now also saw Amazon Q and how it does. We also did that as well. And Amazon Q does not just also helps you with code generation. You can ask about anything about AWS and it does it as well. So let me do that. So let me go and check if the queue is there, and I like to see what it does. Open the panel. So what are the best practices of uh, maintaining secret keys in AWS? Let me ask that question. So what does Q helps me to do that? Let's see. So we can ask AWS related questions. It is trained up to date with the AWS documentation. So we can go ahead and ask anything related to AWS. And also, it's not just used for code generation. You can ask doubts. And there's one more use case that you can do along with that as well. Awesome. I'm getting responses that you have been submitting your Party Rock AI apps. That's well and good. Perfect. Yes. So it takes a little bit of more time than what you see outside as well. So while this is getting generated, let's go back and see what it also does. So what are the best practices of cleaning data using AWS Data Wrangler? It helps me to do that as well. And Amazon Q also helps for your business related stuff. So how many of you here heard about QuickSight? QuickSight is a dashboard used to do all data analysis as well. So it is similar to what you call Power BI and the other stuff, or Tableau. So it integrates with Amazon QuickSights and it generates analysis with just prompts. For example, if you have a data set in the data uploaded in Amazon Q in your QuickSight, and Amazon Q prompt over there, if you type that, I need to create this particular dashboard or a chart or a graph, it creates stat from the data set from you. You don't have to do that. So that's pretty cool, right? So this is how it also helps us. So go to Amazon QuickSight, and then I'm saying that, okay, I've uploaded the data set, and then I'm asking, give me a data analysis about visitor versus paid conversion. It gave me this chart by itself. So one thing which I love to say to in every single presentation which I spoke about GenAI or anywhere is that GenAI is not here to take over your jobs, but it's here to supercharge your productivity. So what you have to do is, I want you guys to leverage these tools that will help you to become a better developer, a better productive person, instead of fearing that it might take over your job. That's the best way to put that. So you can connect with me. So I'm available in this QR code, and you can reach out to me in LinkedIn, Topmate, and User Group Madurai as well. So if you haven't signed up, go ahead and sign up in AWS User Group Dehradun and Madurai, which you can find that in this one. So now I'm available for taking a couple of questions. That's enough for you to get started for the rest of the bootcamp that you're going to see for the next 4 weeks. So today we have seen about what is machine learning, what is AI, what is generative AI, how the generative AI actually grew from the starting to right now, what all happened over there. And then we saw about why generative AI has its own pros and cons, what all are those, and what is the need of using Gen AI, what's the use cases around it. Then we saw about how Gen AI can be used or leveraged using AWS and what's the benefit around that. Along with it, we also saw about very nice use cases, very nice stuff. We had a walkthrough around AWS console. We also created new amazing Party Rock apps, and you also have uh, winner of the Party Rock GenAI hackathon. Yeah, bonus blog post. Yeah, that's cool. Brought out by Peachy Cloud Security. Great. So I have been seeing a lot of people have been submitting Party Rock. So it's open till, so we are doing it on monthly basis. So we have one more week till the month ends, right? So we can go ahead and try out your Party Rock and submit. And we also saw about what's a bedrock and how you can actually do that and everything. And we also saw about how to leverage the existing Gen AI tools that is available in AWS ecosystem, which includes Party Rock for effortless GenAI app creation. Bedrock for foundation model tuning, and SageMaker Jumpstart for how you can fine tune it, and so and so. And we also saw about the Amazon Q, which is how it is integrated with VS Code, and you can help us to it can help you to code better and ask right questions. So what is a meetup ID? Guys, what you have to do is go and search for AWS User Group Dehradun meetup. So go ahead and sign up or join this particular user group as well. And also feel free to go and join Madurai. And if you are a user, so what you can go is on the top right corner, you will have something called view profile. And view profile helps us to identify you are a part of members of these two clubs. So one fine thing is that at the end of this month, we'll be announcing the top creators of Creators Club, which looks something like this. So last month we have made some announcements. This month, last month we had around 23 submissions. This month we have more than 150 submissions coming in. So feel free to jump in. And if you are part of a college and you like to represent your college and create a small AWS club inside your college for your teachings, like for example, whatever you learned today, you can reach us out and we'll be happy to help you out. So a few of the folks have also been into as a cloud club captains, and you can ask a couple of questions about what's happening in AWS certifications in our forums. We'll be happy to answer that as well. And most importantly, go ahead and sign up for Dehradun meetup, so you'll get a constant access to what's happening in our user groups, and you can sign up for the future events as well. And do paste that profile, in that as well. Okay, that's most about it. And you can again, I'm getting a couple of questions. Okay, so you guys can reach me out over here. With this QR code, you can take a screenshot, or you can take just click scan it. You'll reach out to me with that. So we'll take a couple of questions around it. Most of the questions have been answered during the session, so I like to take the rest of the questions right now. Am I still able to join even though? Yeah, of course. So we are not bound by region. So feel free to join any user groups, join our virtual sessions. We do conduct a lot. Be part of our initiatives and contribute. That's all it takes to be a part of the community. And what's the role of the VS Code during? No, it doesn't have any role of VS Code during Party Rock building application. And can you tell some free LLMs that you can do? I'm not really sure about the free LLMs that you can access. Everything has come along with the cost. Is the knowledge of ML and DL really required for GenAI? Join late. I would still say that it's good to always know about machine learning and deep learning, but it's not really necessary for you to do that. So it's about which use case and which level of expertise that you like to take with respect to GenAI, and depends on that. For example, if you want to really go and fine tune as well as pre-train the whole foundation model, of course you need to know about machine learning and DL. But if you're just going to work on leveraging those foundation models or building something like that, then you just can get started immediately how we got started today. Yeah. Okay, we have another use case. Yep, go ahead and create some amazing DevOps related party of competition. Let's see. And yep. I'm scrolling through the questions to see if I could do any leftover. This one. We spoke about LLMs. We spoke about RAG. Yep. RAG is where like you fine tune it in such a way that it gives answer to from whatever the data set and stuff that you have for yourself, right? So it's like confined and a limited source of data that you want to answer the LLM from. Okay. So we saw about other stuff. So how many submissions? You can submit how much ever you want. That's up to you. Feel free to do that. And if you guys really enjoyed this session, do drop a post in LinkedIn about what you really liked about the session. If you have any feedback for me, I'll be happy to take it so I can improve more sessions coming forward. And also, feel free to join our user groups. That will help us to keep on engaging with us, and that will be it. Okay, so I think that's the most of from today. I've answered most of the questions. So I would like to have the organizers take over, and we can go to the next section of this today.
Thank you, Vivek, for your valuable insight. And we are really grateful for the time and efforts you have invested in sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you.
Now, I have a big announcement for all the participants who are active till now, and that is that we will be providing you with WizLab's premium subscription for 1 month, and this will help you in doing hands-on practice and practicing different stuffs on AWS. There are few AWS services, AI services, which are available in that sandbox, which you can practice, and some of the services are not available, so we are really sorry for that. And here I would like to also thank WizLabs for being a learning partner for this event and providing this learning opportunity to you all. So basically, this is not just a sandbox. This premium subscription will give you access to numerous labs of AWS and other platform as well on WizLabs, and it will also give you access to sandbox environment for AWS. So for that, you won't be needing any AWS credits, or you won't be needing to create your own AWS account on AWS console. You can just access that sandbox, and you can practice or do your hands-on practice with whatever services you want. So to ensure this that you receive the access to the AWS sandbox or WizLab's premium subscription, and for a better understanding of your participation, so please take a moment to scan the QR. Just give me a moment. So please take a moment to scan this QR. This will ensure your participation attendance, and this will also ensure that you are getting a premium subscription of WizLab's platform. So you have 1 to 2 minutes. You can scan this QR and fill this Google form. You can drop in the chat whenever you are already done with filling the form.
You all can take screenshots as well to fasten the process. Please let us know in the chat
Also,
box.
yeah, also, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you are filling this form within 15 to 20 minutes, because after 15-20 minutes, we will be closing this form, because this form is specific to the one who are attending this live session, and not for them who will be joining, like watching the recordings. So this is really important that you fill this form within 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you.
So I hope you would have been scanned this QR or have taken the screenshot. So the best part is here, the most awaited part, that is the quiz. So now I'll invite Sahil. He's from AWS User Group Dehradun to moderate the quiz. Sahil, it's you.
Okay, hopefully I'm audible, Unnati.
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Sahil Chauhan, and I'm also another UG member, core committee member. So I hope you are all enjoying the session so far and finding the content insightful. To make this even more engaging, we have prepared a fun quiz for you guys. Okay, so this quiz is basically designed to reinforce the concept we have covered and give you a chance to test your knowledge. Okay. Plus, it's a great opportunity to earn some extra points. Moving on to the quiz part, the quiz will be testing your knowledge, speed, and accuracy, and it's a great opportunity to showcase your what you have learned basically during this entire session. Okay. Let me just share the screen. 1 second.
Guys, you can just scan this QR code and join the quiz. So we'll be waiting for you. You have 5 minutes to scan the QR code. Let us know in the chat box when you are done.
Is my screen visible, Unnati?
Uh, Sahil, let them get some time to scan the QR, then you'll be able to present.
Okay.
Nandini, we'll be taking all your questions at last.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, till the time you guys are scanning the QR and joining this quiz, I would like to request all of you that please let us know by posting your thoughts on LinkedIn and other social media that what all have you learned from this session, and like how informative this session was for you and how this can help you in like getting you in the field of AI and Gen AI. So apart from that, if you have any queries regarding anything regarding how to join the community, how to join the meetup page, you guys can always reach out to me. I am the community leader and for this AWS User Group Dehradun. And you can also reach out to Vivek. You can also reach out to Unnati, Sahil, and we have other members as well. Yogesh, they are also the core team member of this community, and we have Vinayak as well. So, in case of any query, I hope you guys are already added in the GenAI Bootcamp group. So, you can anytime DM us, or you can also ask anything, any query in the chat forum in that WhatsApp group. So please go ahead and scan this quiz QR and then join the quiz, because at the end of the boot camp, we will have some surprising rewards for you as well. So rewards you will be getting after the completion of the complete boot camp, and we will be having a note of each and everyone, like who is interacting how much and who is more participative in the events, and who all are the winners of the quizzes. So in the upcoming sessions we will be having like different challenges for you all. We will be asking you to build something on your own and share that with us, and we will also giving you some challenges to build something and post it on social media, like how you have built that and why you have built that, right? So all these challenges are coming along the way, so be prepared for that. This bootcamp is really going to be very productive for all of you, and that's why we have planned this bootcamp actually, because as I am also an active learner in this tech field. So what I feel is one session is not always enough to learn something, right? So if there is a series of session, let's say from something from basics to advanced level, and that too with some hands-on practice, right? So that is actually a fruitful thing for us to teach us something so that we can build something on our own, right? So that was the main motive of this boot camp. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope that you have also scanned this QR for the quiz and you have joined this quiz. So I think Sahil, you can take over from here.
Okay, sir. Unnati, can you make sure that my screen is visible? Yeah. So as we all can see that at the right part we have the leaderboard and number of participants visible. Okay, and all in all we have 107 participants still. We will be waiting for another 1 and 2 minutes for remaining participants to join. Kindly
Yeah,
make it
guys,
fast, guys.
show some excitement. There were 800 plus registrations and still 100.
Okay, increasing the number. Guys, number अभी speed से बढ़ रहा है.
So, Sahil, what do you think? At what count we'll start this?
Like we'll wait for another minute,
200.
minute and acha, that way I think 200 is a good point to start.
Okay, guys, then buckle up. 119, 20, 80 more. We'll be starting in next
Hopefully,
2 minutes.
yeah. Hopefully, you guys know that what all things you will be availing after this quiz, right? It would be something good. It's something good for you all.
Even even I'm also excited to know about the goodies.
Okay, Unnati. 131 participants. Gonna wait another minute.
Uh, Sahil, please share the quiz link in the chat as well so that people can access it from there.
Okay, okay. I'll share this QR code as well.
QR code is visible. You can share the link.
Okay, sir, I'll share that link. Just a second, guys. I've shared it. Is it visible to all? There. Quiz link. 142 participants. Okay. Guys, make it fast. We want to make sure the most interactive ones get what they deserve, right? I think even you guys wish that part, right?
Okay, Sahil, we'll start at 38.
Okay, 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 Unnati.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the time people are joining in the last minute, I'll just tell you the rules and all. ठीक है तो राइट साइड में लीडर बोर्ड है वेयर यू ऑल कैन सी who all are the at the top of this leaderboard, right? Jojo, the leaderboard will be working on the basis of your accuracy and the time, the speed at which you are answering, right? तो तुम लोग के स्पीड भी मैटर करेंगे and the number of questions you answer correctly. ठीक है Unnati, I guess it's 1838. We should start, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question will be in a second.
Sahil, click on the leaderboard section. It is on participants, I guess.
Okay, okay, okay. So just a second. So, so it's not getting clear. Okay, so total in all, we have 102 participants who answered the correct question, answered the question correctly. Uh, there are 80%, 18%. So moving
Guys,
on to
there
the
is
next question. Moving on to the
sorry,
next question.
there is a technical issue. We'll fix it. Until then, you can go to next question.
I guess you can all see the leaderboard on your screen as well. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Will be in 3 seconds. So the leaderboard is visible now. Uh, okay, so this question was answered by 78% people correctly. यार ये 1% और 3% में कौन है? चलो ठीक है. Moving on to the next question, guys. The first few questions are easy, so make sure you make it correct. Okay, this question was answered by 67% people correctly.
This was the
Moving on to the
easiest
next.
question.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I can see EC Cloud Security is at the top from the first question, right? Then Kshitij,
Since the
then
first
Ishan.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next question. 5 seconds. Okay. Now more than 40% of the people made it wrong. Huh? What? So moving on to the next question, guys.
So 15 seconds left. So the question is, which AWS service is specifically designed for monitoring and observability? Options are AWS CloudWatch, AWS CloudTrail, Lambda, and EC2. Okay, so I can see 83% have done right. Okay, so Ishan is now at the top, then Lavanya. There is a little bit change in the leaderboard.
Yeah, I can witness that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, moving
Now
on to the
let's
next
see
question.
who will win. What is an S3 bucket used for? Running serverless applications, storing data and objects, managing identity and access, launching EC2 instances. Very simple question, guys. Answer is in the question. Now let's see that Ishan will be on the top or anyone else will take place.
Okay, this was answered by 87% people correctly.
Yeah.
Remaining 4 questions are left. Uh, Moving
Only
on.
4 questions, guys. Buckle up. So the question is, what does S3 stand for in Amazon S3? Simple storage service, secure storage service, scalable storage service, or simple server service? This should be correct from all of you. The easiest question ever. Okay,
Okay.
who are these 1% and 6% who made this wrong? Okay, so Ishan is still at
Still
the
on the top.
top, then Lavanya, then Nighat Naz, Vijay Raghavan, and AKD,
Unique name.
not with his full name. Okay, so now we are moving towards our third last
Next
question.
question.
So the question is, what is generative AI primarily used for? Classifying images, predicting numerical values, generating new content such as images, text, or music, or storing data. Guys, we discussed it in the whole session.
I think this one should be answered correctly by many of them.
Yeah, almost 100%.
देखते हैं. 97.
Okay,
Close.
great score. And still Ishan is at top. Good to see Ishan.
Okay, shall we move on to the next question?
Yeah, second last question.
In 5 seconds.
Can we see some change in leaderboard?
You can
Which
always
type
change
of
in the
neural
last
network? So the question is, which type of neural network is most commonly associated with generative AI? Options are convolutional neural network, recurrent neural network, generative adversarial network, long short-term memory network. This is little bit tough, I can see. Let's see who knows this. Okay. 62% have done right. Great,
CNN
Ishan. Now Vijay is again at the third position. Great. And MD Arslan has taken the second position. A change in the leaderboard. So moving towards the last question.
In 5 seconds, guys.
It will decide the winners. What is a common application of generative AI in the field of text? Text summarization, text classification, text generation, text translation. Now, most of them would be thinking why they haven't given all of the above to make it an easy choice. 7 seconds left. 79% of them is done right, and Vijay has unfortunately is at the top, and then MD Ursula, then secret player. Okay, so we can see whole leaderboard has been changed. I hope you would have enjoyed the quiz. The winners will obviously get to know about the goodies soon. So stay tuned with us. And lastly, I thank Sahil for hosting this quiz. Thank you, Sahil.
Welcome, Unnati. The leaderboard is with you guys as well. So I'll stop sharing the screen and handing over to Unnati. Okay. All the best, guys.
Okay, so as you see that we have been that you would have enjoyed the quiz, and if in case of any questions, though Vivek sir has already answered your questions very well, but if you still have any questions relevant to today's discussion, feel free to utilize the chat feature to type your questions. We'll be happy to answer your questions anyhow. So thank you to everyone who for your enthusiastic engagement throughout the session. We trust that your questions have been thoroughly addressed and that you found value in the discussions. So at last, it was wonderful to see such enthusiasm and engagement. We trust that your questions have been thoroughly addressed by the sir and us. So I would like to tell you the key takeaways from this session were that we explored the vast ecosystem of AWS and the transformative potential of generative AI. Secondly, we navigated the AWS Management Console and created an S3 bucket, gaining practical skills. So, at last, I would request you to connect with us so you can stay tuned for updates. Follow us on our social media handles for the latest news and events. You can connect with us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Insta, or even in our WhatsApp channel. So, thank you once again to all the participants for being part of day one of this bootcamp. Let's continue this journey together and make the most of what AWS and generative AI have to offer. Have a great day, everyone. See you tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the same platform.